So I'm here with Spencer Sims. He is a member of the South Los Angeles Inglewood Republican Assembly and a computer developer. How are you doing today, Spencer?
I'm doing great.
Definitely. So I met you at the Black Leadership Summit. It was an amazing event. What was your favorite moment?
Oh, my favorite moment would probably have to be the White House and being in the same room with President Trump. I say that was that's my best part of it.
And this is actually your second trip to the White House. What was
Yes.
the first time?
Yeah. The first time was a year ago, last year at the first Young Black Leadership Summit, and I'm blessed to have been able to go twice. So yeah, it's pretty fun.
Definitely. And I was speaking with you and I was talking about how, like, when I think of South Los Angeles, I don't think of necessarily one of the last groups I think I would think of would be Republicans. So,
Yeah.
can you tell me a little bit about your journey into becoming a Republican?
Oh, okay. My journey to becoming a Republican. So I grew up in Los Angeles in Inglewood, more precisely. Went to school in Compton. Very religious. Went to a religious high school, Seventh-day Adventist, and also university. Um, what you would call, I guess, a natural conservative. Believe in the family, faith, that sort of thing, pretty stable. And but I was just by default, I was a Democrat. Around me was Democrats. I mean, it was just that was just the thing to do. It was just a basic assumption. But and then I voted for President Obama the first time. That was the first time I was able to vote, and I was all about the hope and change. First black president. It was pretty clear cut and dry to me. But then his policies was just it was just things that I was just questioning. I was like, okay, maybe the government can take over healthcare. Maybe that is a good thing, I thought. But it really wasn't until he lit up the White House with the whole, rainbow gay colors in support of the the overturning of the in support of same-sex marriage. That was the thing that kind of struck me, and I was like, well, why am I a Democrat? That was the question that um that I was that just came up in my mind, because I didn't believe in it, and I was just that started my questioning of wondering, well, why, and what is the purpose of government, and why can government try to redefine marriage and all of this kind of stuff. And from there, one thing led to another, and I just started looking at the two platforms, and I was like, oh man, I'm not really a Democrat. I don't support abortion. I don't support these types of things that the left is trying to do, and that I'm a conservative. And so going to school, my light went off. Okay, cool. Yeah. But going to school, everyone else was a Democrat, and so that was just the case. But it wasn't until Donald Trump started to, when he came down the elevator, I mean the escalator, and he started to run and to give a speech and stuff. I was like, well, maybe this will be a thing. So I became a conservative. Shortly before that, then I started supporting Ben Carson, because he and I share many of the same sort of views. But Donald Trump basically took it away, and so when it came time to be for Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton, I just knew that I just couldn't support Hillary Clinton. I just couldn't make that leap and jump. And so what I ended up doing was to go and I found the Republican Women's Federated here in Santa Monica in Los Angeles. And so California by itself, we just knew was just gonna go blue. That was just a thing. But that didn't mean that I had no responsibility. There were things I could do still. So every day after work, I went over to there and I just simply made phone calls. We did phone banking, and we called all of the swing state people, and we talked with them, and back and forth, and we was able to basically make a dent in it. And so I became a full-on official Republican. And from there, it was very interesting. I got to hook up with the South Los Angeles Inglewood Republican Assembly, which is part of the California Republican Assembly (CRA), and it's focused, in the part of the neighborhood and in part of the world that I live in right now. And so the goal of it is to basically engage, that area to become Republicans, and to help elect Republican candidates. And so I got involved with it. Then I also got involved with the West LA Young Republicans. Got involved with that too. I eventually became a treasurer of that group, and also was able to become vice president of SLARA. So, with the main goal of being able to identify and recruit people to join the Republican cause, and to really tell people in South Los Angeles and in Inglewood, a lot of African Americans, Hispanics, that hey, you don't have to be a Democrat. It's not just the thing that you just go and click on that. There are other ideas out there. That you could be a libertarian, you could be a conservative, and to really explain to people what it means to want smaller government, more freedom, what these ideas mean. Because in Los Angeles, yeah, there aren't a lot of obvious Republicans out there. They are there. A lot of them either they don't know that they're Republican, or they're too scared to come out and to do anything. So that's been my journey, a lot long and short. Discovered Turning Point USA. Yeah, discovered Turning Point USA and stuff, and was able to go to the first Black Leadership Summit. And from there, that's when I really decided, hey, I need to take charge and to do things. So then after that, I got elected to be the vice president, and I'm also on the outreach committee for our group, and for the social media website committee. So I'm trying to really make it my focus to be outside of just talking to ourselves as Republicans, and to really create a dialogue and to talk with more people who might not think the same way that we do.
Is that, are you able to have like an open dialogue? Because like when I think of South Central, I think of, it having such a proximity to Hollywood, where there are so many liberal ideologies, and that people like, pretty much like, accept these ideologies like without question, because like celebrities and stuff, everything are great influencers. People like Busy Phillips, who like, takes up the cause for abortion, or you have like someone like Alyssa Milano, like, who advocates for abortion. And I think like a lot of liberals are very people are so brainwashed by these influencers and celebrities, who support the Democratic Party, that they're very closed-minded to the values of conservatism sometimes.
Yeah, and I mean, I really don't want to keep bringing up race here, but I mean, it kind of is important in that a lot of those influencers and people who are influenced by them are white liberals. They're not typically so much African Americans, who are by default sort of understand that a child in the womb is still a child, and they're not too much drawn by those same sort of policies. But Hollywood and that kind of culture is pretty prevalent here, and a lot of those people even though there are a lot of liberals and a lot of those influencers in Hollywood and near here, there are a lot of people who just pay lip service to that, and there's a lot of people here who don't necessarily agree with that, but they won't speak out about it because they're afraid of just going against the grain and going against the perceived like zeitgeist and notion of all of it. So I mean, when it comes down to Hispanics and to African Americans and to those minorities, they're pretty much naturally by default sort of conservative. They just don't have the right language or are afraid to label it because of what they perceive the Republican Party to be as. So I mean, yeah, so you got that. And on the, on the white liberal side, yeah, it is kind of up an uphill battle there. But we as Republicans, we just have to be more communicative about our ideas and why we hold those ideas, to be frank.
For sure. And I was researching. I saw like you made a video, like you went to a Democratic debate watch party and you were actually attacked. I mean, it's
Yeah,
really not funny
yeah.
though. It's kind of humorous, but like you mean and stuff, everything you had a drink poured on you because I guess you were wearing MAGA gear. So like you mean and stuff. Can you talk about that experience?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wasn't even wearing MAGA gear, which was, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, so I went over to Kentucky, Louisville for a religious conference, and the Democratic, debates were going on, and over here in Inglewood and with Slayer, we have a pretty, open policy. Anybody could come. I mean, yeah, a lot of Republicans come, but you could be Democrat, independent, whatever. We would like to have you. It's a debate. Is Democrats. We all talk. So I was like, okay, well, I looked on, I think it was, yeah, I looked on Facebook, and I saw that the socialists the Democratic Socialists of America were having a watch party not too far away from me. So I was like, okay, yeah, let me go join. Let me talk with them. Hear out the ideas, because I mean a lot of people think that I'm pretty much very conservative, and I am, but I am open to dialogue and to talk. And if we can't talk and communicate as fellow citizens, there's not much hope for us, right? So I went over there, and I didn't wear any MAGA gear because I just I didn't want to totally offend people and like blow off people's heads. But I did wear a shirt that said "conservative and proud." White T-shirt with red lettering, pretty simple and basic. And I mean, it just, hey, I'm a conservative and I'm proud. So I showed up there, and I won't. My sort of thing is I won't like you know, debate with you or talk with you unless you talk to me first, just to, just to be clear. So I went there, and yeah, people saw my shirt, and most of the people there were just nice and everything like that. And as the debate was going on, there was this one guy over there who he was just basically triggered. I mean, he was basically triggered by this shirt, and he started yelling, "How dare you come over into this? Wearing that shirt, being a Republican. How dare you come over to our area?" And he just started to like go off. And so I just was like, okay, well, I'm sorry that you're offended. I'm here for the debate party and for the food, and I just we could talk things out. Let's have a dialogue about this after the debate. But he got triggered in like the literal sense of the word. And so I just started to ignore him. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore him, let him cool off, whatever. And I'm sitting towards the front, and there's maybe like 15, 20 people there. And I'm just, I just started, just to ignore him and watch the debate after the commercials came off. And dude came up from behind me and poured like his alcoholic drink on me. And I don't drink at all. I mean, I don't drink, I don't do any of that kind of stuff. So I was pretty like offended. And so I jumped up, I'm like, like let me go and do something to this guy. And he just booked off, and I like ran with him. And then like I got to him, and I'm not a person who curses or whatever, and I'm not a particularly violent person, but I was very, very close, man. And I had told these people that I just came from a Christian Seventh Adventist conference, and I was like, for me to like hit this guy and get into a fight, I mean, even though I could kind of justify it myself, I couldn't like, be that kind of like witness to them. So it was like one of these things like in high school where you get up in each other's faces and stuff like that. But but I was like, dude, I mean, why are you gonna do this? How come you can't communicate like regular people? I mean, if we have disagreements about something, um to a to attack people that you disagree with is just crazy. And they call us the fascists, and they call us Nazis, and they call us bad people. Well, they just can't stand the idea that that someone else could have a different opinion than them, and could communicate to them. So it was pretty interesting. I was really, really, really upset at it, but dude then just booked off. And it was kind of a testimony to them, how, hey, it's your side that is like the violent side here. I mean, think about that. And I told him, hey, when we have events, we have all kinds of people over, and nobody is attacked or made fun of or called names or anything. And here I am, attacked by you guys. And just really, think about it, consider that. And they they did, they say sorry and all this kind of stuff. But it was quite an experience, man. Yeah, getting attacked by the Democratic Socialist people.
Man, yeah, that sounds, like a potentially scary situation. It's very good. I guess it didn't go like as far, like I mean, where it was only a drink, but like, you being a 7-day Adventist who doesn't smoke weed or drink and stuff and everything, I can see how that would be like, I'm saying, very offensive. And going on like, back to Inglewood. And like I read like a bunch of articles and stuff and everything online about like gentrification and how the area is changing. Is that something that you've noticed or you're concerned with particularly?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's yeah, great that you would bring that up. Yeah, I attend the community meetings that we have around here, in Inglewood and in South Los Angeles, talking about gentrification. And it's a real problem. And when the stadium, has been built over here, for some reason, that just drives up property values. And I don't know why people would want to live next to a stadium, guys, because that just means more traffic and all the other kinds of stuff. But some people, I guess, do like do like that kind of thing. So yeah, gentrification is a real issue when you have most of the people here who are renters, and a lot of the people here, they bought their houses a while back. And now that the property value is rising and rising and rising, if they sell their houses, where are they going to go? They're not going to be able to really go anywhere else around here. They're going to have to move out of state. So um, gentrification is a problem, because people who don't own their houses here and who live and work here, they're going to have to go farther and farther out. And so Inglewood itself passed rent control, and now the entire state is thinking about it. It's really, really hard to build here in California. It's just it's a lot of regulation. It's a lot of things to do with land use and zoning, and building high density housing is really the only solution, to the problem here about where to fit so many people. So if you don't live in Los Angeles area, if you don't live in California, just stay where you are. Don't come. We're running out of room here. But the real problem is, in a free market with nice weather like this, I guess a lot of people want to live here. And so I don't really know what the conservative solution to that is, except for we got to make it easier to build housing in California. And but that's an uphill battle with everything being controlled by the Democrats here. And so, people think that the temporary solution is rent control, but what that really does is that it makes landlords less likely to actually fix their units that they currently have here, because everything is capped. And so, it gives them less incentive to have housing and that kind of thing. So it's a real problem. I mean, I'm personally hoping for some sort of major earthquake to drive down the the property values. But yeah, it's gentrification is a real problem here.
Yeah, we don't know. Like, I don't know about the odds of the earthquake affecting South Central, but maybe West LA. But Spencer and some everything. Thank you so much for taking the time. What's next with you?
What's next with me? I mean, so what we're doing at Slayer, South Los Angeles Ingle Republican Assembly, is that we're really trying to make it known that, hey, you could be a Republican, you could be black, and it's okay. And you can ask questions. I think Candace Owens, at the summit said it best when she said that we vote time and time and time again for the same party, and what do we have to show for it? We don't have anything to show for it. And so when I go around and I have my MAGA hat here, and I put it on, you know, it actually works wonders, because then people out there, they see, oh, hey, you're a Republican, why do you support Trump, blah blah blah. And a lot of people who thought that it wasn't good to support Trump, they're not able to like really think about it and express it, and to do things like that. And I mean, when I'm in Ubers, people want to know. When I'm around, people want to know. Sometimes I get free gifts. Sometimes I get all kinds of stuff, free drinks, and it's just new friends. I mean, it really opens up a big possibility. I think especially when you're African American, because you got a certain amount of like black privilege there, in that people want to know, and that they want to ask you, and that um, the media has said that black people are just supposed to be Democrats. So when people see something different, they're like, they really want to know about it. So we're gonna go to Lamert Park in the next couple of weeks, and we're gonna set up a table like ladder require basically, and just interview people, and just like do voter registration, and just let people know that, hey, you can be a Republican, and there's nothing wrong with it, and you are basically a conservative if you believe that the government should be limited, if you should have more freedom, if you should have less taxes, if you believe that life starts at conception, then you're basically a conservative. And so what we want to do, and when I really want to try to help people focus on, is to really pry that out, and to let them know that, hey, being a Republican is not a bad thing, and that you're basically there. Let me just show you and walk you through it. And while I was in DC, I got this new shirt right here, Make American Great Again. It's like a hoodie. So yeah, I got MAGA gear now, and all kinds of stuff. And it's really to really communicate a message, and to open up a dialogue with people that say, hey, let's talk about these policies. Let's talk about why socialism doesn't work. Let's talk about illegal immigration, and that it really hurts us as Black people, as lower income people in South Los Angeles. And when you talk about people, when we talk these points to people, they really open up, and they say, yeah, illegal immigration, this, it does hurt me, and it does hurt people around me. So, with me and the LAGOP, and with other people, what we're trying to do is that we're really trying to get Republicans themselves to step up to the plate, and to just talk and to share your views, because Democrats here in Los Angeles, basically they don't have Republican friends, and so they don't get to have debates and to talk about think policies with people and to really test these ideas. So when they run into you as a conservative, as the African American, they don't know what to say. They're like, oh well, they never had to actually think about their point of view. So it's I like to debate and I like to talk to people. So it really opens up dialogue and to see people like actually think through these issues. So I think what's up for me is that, we just, I just continue to work and to um try to do everything I can to get not only Donald Trump elected, but local Republicans in South Los Angeles and in Inglewood elected.
Definitely, Spencer. And thank you so much for your time. And I salute you, all the work you're doing. And it was a pleasure meeting you. And I hope to see you again soon in South Los Angeles.
No problem, man. Thanks.
Definitely.